Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is News Now at noon.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel.
Now at noon, demolition is underway following a massive fire in the village of Falconer.
And we are learning more about a new program that will bring a full-time ambulance service to Chautauqua County.
But first, we check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by in the First Defense Weather Center. Happy Friday, Dakota.
Happy Friday, Justin, and happy Friday, Matt, and happy Friday to you out there on Facebook Live land. And hey, we made it to the end of another work week. You can tell I'm ready for the weekend when I start stumbling over words. The current pollen levels here, you can see the mold pollen is in the very high category. That is what we're dealing with. So if you've been sneezing and sniffling, that's your issue right there. It's mostly mold, but the grass pollen is also moderate as well. So that's starting to give us a little bit of issues. Now the satellite layer, you can see there's not really much showing over western New York, but there is a few high clouds that are showing up that's just not showing up on the satellite imagery. But again, I think the day should be mainly dry, but yeah, don't expect that to last throughout the night. 60 was the high yesterday. That's about 6 degrees below average. 51 is where we bottomed out this morning. No rain at the airport. And again, that sunset time getting closer to 7 o'clock, and it'll be here before 7 o'clock before you know it. So mostly sunny on average for the early afternoon. Will be right around 62 degrees. As we go into the afternoon, a gorgeous afternoon. 66 degrees, just a few high clouds. Otherwise, sunshine abode out there for your Friday. As we go into the evening, showers develop with a weak cold front. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on in the full weather segment. Jay and Matt.
Mr. Hunterelli, we appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm calling you Hummer. I don't know why, Matt.
Oh, well, we all
Hummer?
have nicknames around here. But we've got some stuff going on in the village of Falconer. Crews there are working to remove debris that was left behind following a massive fire in the area of 29 West Main Street last March.
Landfill credits donated from neighboring towns and outside funding made the debris removal possible. Now, earlier today, I spoke to officials who were obviously very excited about the cleanup. The site of a massive fire in the village of Falconer nearly 2 years ago will finally be cleared after a long fight to obtain the property deeds and funding.
This is a good day. This isn't the end. This is kind of a beginning of a new chapter here that with the help of our partners we've developed, we'll be able to get it done, and there's a lot of enthusiasm to do that. That's
Falconer Mayor James Rensel, who said that right now there are a number of developers interested in investing in that spot.
We've not had to go searching for people. They're interested in coming to Falconer, so that's a plus. We just have to decide with our community development plan as to how we want to proceed, so it's done in a uniform way.
Financial assistance from the Chautauqua County Land Bank, landfill credits from the town of Poland, Ellington, Gary, Carroll, and the village of Celeron also helped them clear the way for these new developments.
I needed help from the partners you've been hearing from and surrounding communities that were very gracious and generous to help us out and recognize that we were having a problem with the arson, not only the arson fire, but the unfortunate fire at Brian Nelson's business also.
The Jamestown Urban Renewal Development Agency managed the demolition as part of the contract with the Chautauqua County Land Bank, who helped provide extra funding. Vince DeJoy, who works with the development agency, explained that the fires in 2017 changed the shape of the community.
Part of the whole reason that we're here was probably one of the worst weeks that I experienced in my position. The arson fire here, the 4 arson fires the next day in the city of Jamestown, where we had to have 4 different demolition crews on at the same time. So I'm glad that we put this chapter behind us and looking forward to Falconer redeveloping this site.
Now, officials said that once the cleanup is complete, the vacant parcels will be ready for redevelopment. Interested parties should contact the Village of Falconer at 716-665-4400. But Matt, as we see today, this is really a milestone. You live in the Village of Falconer yourself, so you can attest to this, and we know a lot of people from there. great news to see that the debris is finally being removed. And of course, as the mayor said today, it was difficult. It was a really difficult process to get to where we are, to not only acquire the property through the deeds, and then to get the proper permissions to get this removed. So certainly, crediting a lot of local officials that have been working day in and day out.
Well, I'm curious to see what they're going to put in there. I've heard people say they want maybe some more restaurants. I've heard people say stores. What would you like to see personally, Justin?
You know what? I've never even thought yet about that because we've been focusing so much on the fight. But in the moment, I would say, something that would boost the economy, I think would be really good for Falconer. Obviously, there's a lot of great local businesses. Brian Nelson, really, he now has the Vac Shack bouncing back. Certainly something, obviously, he owns that property. To keep Brian in there, to keep the people at the Bluefin, a lot of local people who have already have been in there. But it'd be really nice to see if we could get in that spot, a good mixed use space for sure with businesses. And, I know there was some housing upstairs, but to, really transform the heart of Falconer for the good. So certainly exciting to see today that cleanup.
And I know there's people from Falconer watching, so if you have any ideas, throw them in the comments. We'll pass them along to the proper people, and bada bing.
Absolutely, and we'd love to talk about a little more as well. So
yes,
certainly, and some exciting news that we learned on Wednesday, but are able to share today.
That's right. County Executive George Borrello, he's had a busy week. He said that adding an ambulance and transitioning the county's EMS to a 24/7, 365-day service will increase county revenue. That by building that Medicaid while also decreasing wait times. Borrello said the transition will also boost an already taxed system.
And the 24/7 fly car system, which is something that we are proposing, will allow us to provide life-saving help to folks that need it all over the county while closing our budget. Currently, the county fly car structure has filled an important gap in EMS services throughout the county. However, some areas still see up to a 40-minute response time for 911 EMS calls. By adding ambulance, just one ambulance, that will allow us, because of the state's rules, to be able to bill for Medicaid services and also provide a 24/7 fly car service by just having one ambulance in service for us.
Borrello, who spoke at Wednesday's county legislature meeting, said taxpayers expect three things: road and bridge maintenance, plowed streets, and for someone to show up when they call 911. The county executive also said the EMTs plan on performing what's called in-house visits for the frequent flyers in an attempt to reduce emergency calls. Later on in the meeting, Borrello also discussed a reallocation of about $4 million, which he said would create a greater investment in infrastructure than in past years. The tax levy, Justin, in the county is also going up. Borrello clarified today that it is a good sign of economic growth.
When you have interest rates dropping, a lot of people refinance, which creates that, but interest rates are actually going up. So you really can't attribute that increase in mortgage tax credit to people refinancing when interest rates are going up, not down, and have been for over a year. So if you look at it that way, what we're seeing is the pie getting bigger, and that's what we want. We want each person's share to have to be smaller because the pie itself is growing. And that's an important distinction. And the paper referred to it as a hike in the tax levy. It's not a hike. We have no control over that. It's all controlled by the tax rate as compared to the assessed values. So we want the levy to grow. That means our economy is expanding, the investment in our economy in Chautauqua County is expanding, and that's what's going to help make the tax burden less and less over time.
Now, Matt, obviously Borrello today clarifying to the local media at the Falconer announcement, because of this issue is so complex when it comes to the tax levy. You almost have to be an economist to figure it out, economist rather. Certainly Borrello telling us that in that SOT that the big picture is what he's looking at, and when looking at the county right now, things compared to, say, 4 years ago are at a much better level, to the point where now we will see that economic growth, and that's why the levy is going up.
Well, yeah, and remember, too, like we talked about yesterday, the tax levy is based off property value.
Yeah.
So if the tax levy is going up, the county is seeing that the value of property is going up, which is a good thing. And
Exactly.
however, the tax rate for property, or no, sales and property tax, the
Yeah.
tax rate, they're staying the same. So that is what people want to see, but they want to see the levy go up.
Exactly. I want to pause for a moment and say hello to Amber. Thanks so much for joining us. Tabitha as well. Happy Friday to you, Dave, and Willia as well. And giving a shout out to Garrett as well. Garrett Yeager of Brotherhood Property Maintenance.
He's the
proud
man.
sponsor of WNY News Now. Saying hello to you, Garrett. As well, new and noteworthy, connect with us here in the comments as we read off some of the headlines of the day. Before we go to break, I wanted to tell you about a wanted Faulkner man who was arrested Thursday morning after police say he allegedly stole property and damaged a vehicle during an altercation with another person on Carlson Road. Chautauqua County Sheriff's deputies say that 25-year-old Ryan Polisic reportedly fled the scene before they arrived, but he was quickly located by the Ellicott Police Department and taken into custody on an outstanding felony warrant out of the city of Jamestown. That warrant also issued for the Carlson Road was issued for that incident on Carlson Road, and Polisic was charged with 4th-degree petty larceny and criminal trespass.
Next here, details on a downtown bridge project that is expected to be completed this fall.
And a little bit later on, we check back in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter as the show rolls on.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
For more than 2 decades, Dorler Landscape Designs has provided exceptional service to customers right here in Chautauqua County with one goal in mind: transform your lawn into an attractive landscape that will be the envy of the neighborhood. From landscape design to lawn maintenance to sprinkler installation and so much more. Count on Dorler Landscaping. Call us today and let us get to work for you. Dorler Landscaping Designs at dorlerlandscape.com.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
The weather is heating up, and so are the deals at Express Bike and Auto, right here in Jamestown, located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension. They are your one-stop shop for all of your vehicle, ATV, and motorcycle needs. They even sell vehicles, and guess what? Financing is available. So what are you waiting for? Get to Express Bike and Auto right here in Jamestown at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension now.
And welcome back to News Now at Noon. A total of 3 people were arrested recently for drunk driving, and a total of 95 other vehicles were stopped during a DWI crackdown over this Labor Day weekend. Chautauqua County police agencies have participated in the New York State Stop DWI crackdown that began from Friday, August 17th through that Monday. Sheriff Joe Gerasi said that the event is funded by a grant from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee and is part of a nationwide crackdown effort. Gerasi tells us that law enforcement all across the area work together to reduce the number of impaired driving injuries and deaths, with special emphasis on driving while impaired by either alcohol or drugs.
Yeah, Justin, it's been something that, he's stressed recently a lot, Gerasi has, about, the drunk driving, distracted driving. I mean, there are different categories, but still, either way, something's impairing you.
Right.
Either it's your phone, drugs, alcohol, something, and it's a big thing.
And regardless of why you're in that position, just don't be in that position.
Yes.
If you're intoxicated, whether you're intoxicated by a controlled substance that you're fighting to get off of, or whether you're intoxicated by alcohol, don't drink and drive because you will kill somebody, and it's horrible. We've seen it way too much here in the news, in the media. I mean, DA Swanson just held a seminar to try to convince kids from texting and driving, which is just as dangerous. So when you're driving, and I know we're all guilty of it, please just drive. Certainly, something to keep our eyes on.
That's right. And Justin, some county officials are talking again. This time they're saying that traffic will soon once again be flowing over the South Main Street Bridge.
Finally.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting for a long time. And that's as construction crews estimate work will be done by late November. The county's Department of Public Facilities said that a major construction milestone was completed when crews poured a concrete relieving slab last week. Officials said that during a 14-day curing period, the granite curbing and the sidewalk placement can begin. The next steps to finishing this bridge project include the pouring of the concrete bridge walls, constructing the bridge approaches, and completing the asphalt paving. The cofferdams and stream access that were needed for the construction will be removed and stream banks restored. Construction of the roadway beneath the railroad overpass will also be rebuilt. The new lamp posts, fixtures, and capstone will be installed on the bridge walls. The county expects, notwithstanding any weather delays, the end of November.
Oh, please, 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 because we've been waiting all too long for that. I can't get to Tim Hortons from downtown, and I can't get from Tim Hortons to downtown.
Well, I mean, the
so
problem
difficult.
is, like, especially if you're going after the school day, so between 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
if you had
Jamestown
to, if you had to, and if you had to go to Tim Hortons or anywhere in Brooklyn Square, you have one of two options right now. You either from our place, you take a left on 3rd, go towards Foot and down that way, and it's a disaster.
Right.
Or you take a right on 3rd. And then have to take a left on Washington, and that you're not even supposed to do that, but it's like, what do you do?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And, as we get closer to November, hopefully we'll start to see that progress, because I know a lot of people were very concerned that they didn't think they were seeing progress.
I hope
these images certainly show that things are really starting to
I hope it gets done by the snow time, Justin, because if we have to deal with the snow and this stuff,
Matt needs his dark roast double in the morning. It makes it difficult. We normally don't touch on national politics too much, but people across the nation were gripped by the testimony of Christine Ford and Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh yesterday. I know I was watching it throughout most of the day. Now, to clarify for folks, it wasn't a trial, but those who tuned in seemed to become jurors, in a sense, trying to decide for themselves as to who was telling the truth and who wasn't. Oh, and you look live here now if we can. I know we have it pulled up on our screen. The discussion still continues today. Omar Jimenez is in Washington, D.C. with details on yesterday's explosive testimony and tells us more.
A key vote in appointing the nation's next Supreme Court justice is set to move forward. Following an emotional hearing Thursday, the Senate Judiciary Committee will decide whether or not to bring Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court nomination to the Senate floor. A historic hearing on Capitol Hill, it began with Christine Blasey Ford relaying her accusation that she was physically and sexually assaulted by Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh in the 1980s.
I was pushed onto the bed, and Brett got on top of me.
And the hearing ended with Kavanaugh proclaiming his innocence.
This whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit.
During the hearing, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham erupted, calling proceedings a sham and a charade, and reading an endorsement letter about Kavanaugh from the American Bar Association.
His integrity is absolutely unquestioned.
But the American Bar Association is now also calling for an FBI investigation. The legal group jumped into the political fray following the hearing Thursday, issuing a strongly worded letter to the Judiciary Committee. A group of senators remain undecided on their votes, notably Arizona's Jeff Flake, Maine's Susan Collins, West Virginia's Joe Manchin, and Alaska's Lisa Murkowski. If they vote along party lines, a procedural vote is tentatively scheduled on the Senate floor Saturday, with a final confirmation vote intended for Tuesday.
So certainly, Matt, this is a very interesting debate, and I think a lot of people are tuned in, and a lot of people seem to tune out Washington. But for this specifically, a lot of people are tuned in right now because, it very much is a human side story. It's, who do you believe? Do you believe Kavanaugh, or do you believe Ms. Ford? And when you look at the human side of it and really what society is going to make a choice here. In this country, we're innocent until proven guilty, and this is not a court. So it's very tricky to see because, really they should look into the allegations before ruining this man's career. And unfortunately, you look at both sides. One side's for Kavanaugh, one side's against him, and vice versa. And we really don't have anyone in the middle who really wants to look at the facts, in my opinion.
We have a problem in this country, especially with this situation. On one hand, we have a problem with the fact that there has been some underlying issues with sexual harassment, sexual assault, and all of that stuff. It's all coming to light. Whether it's with a person that isn't famous or somebody that is well known. The problem is this. Do we try to give the person that's accused, the fair justice? Because if you try to do that, if you try to give them a fair hearing and all that stuff, there will be some people that say that you're ignoring the accuser. Mm-hmm. But there's other people that say if you're looking heavily into allegations that you're trying to crucify the person that's being accused. So at this point, there are no winners.
No.
And I'm not picking a side here. I'm just saying both sides. There's problems.
Right,
and
there is, and
I don't know where we're going.
There's obviously a culture that has to be addressed, and it won't be addressed today.
Correct.
It has to be addressed by a generation. When we come back, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with a look at our 7-day, and then later, Norm Rodriguez with details on Jamestown Red Raiders football game this evening when we come back.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Turn to Brotherhood Property Maintenance for all your lawn care and landscaping needs. Serving both commercial and residential lots. Check out Jamestown's fastest growing landscaping crew on Facebook or call us now to book an appointment. The Fitness Bunker in Lakewood is a locally owned and operated club that cares about your health and wellness. They invest in it. Right now, enter their 30-day challenge, where for only $69, you get 30 days of unlimited everything. That's right, everything, along with 2 one-on-one personal training sessions. Then, if you lose 10 pounds, you'll get the next month free. Plus, the first place winner will get 2 Buffalo Bills tickets or a $100 gift card. Details right now on the Fitness Bunker's Facebook page.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now. First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to News Now. Let's kick off this weather segment with the Sky Vision camera from downtown Olean, from downtown Erie, not Olean. And you can see traffic flowing pretty well there. You can see just the peaks of sunshine out there in Erie right now, 68 over 54. So again, that dew point nice and low. Now, I mentioned it yesterday. October generally means nice, fall, crisp air. No, Mother Nature has other plans here. This goes all the way out to the first week of October, and the Climate Prediction Center has the westernmost part of the southern tier under a 50% chance for seeing above average temperatures, and the remainder of the state under a 40% chance, much of the state until you get up into the Tug Hill, then it goes to a 30%. So warmer temperatures next week to start off October, so wait just a little bit longer for that fall air. Hey, the Red Raiders have a football game tonight. It is Jamestown versus West Seneca West at West Seneca. So if you are going to the game tonight, the majority of the game should be dry, but by the time we go to the fourth quarter, there should be possibly some rain showers heading our way. So bring the umbrella, bring the poncho, and of course, Norman Big Pipes Rodriguez will have the full on that coming up. And I call him Big Pipes because he's got those big broadcasting pipes. He just sounds great. News Now, Cam, you can see just a few clouds dotting the sky, but 59 degrees is the current temperature. There's that dew point of 52. So again, that dew point knocked down, making it feel a lot comfortable. Nada returning on First Defense Doppler radar. A nice afternoon, so get out and enjoy it. But there is another cold front to our west that will be moving in here tonight, and that's going to be the best chance for rain, and it looks like it'll probably linger into Saturday as well. Let's show that to you here on Future Scan. You can see clear for the afternoon. It's going to be a great afternoon, so go out and enjoy it if you can. Very seasonable. But you can see that front back to the west. That's going to be that rain that moves in, and here it comes tonight. This is by about 10 o'clock. You can see rain possibly right around West Seneca. So again, bring the umbrella, bring the poncho if you're going to the game. And again, the rain will continue throughout the night. It looks like it'll continue possibly in pockets early tomorrow. And then by the time we go to Saturday afternoon, it all clears out. And again, Saturday should be mainly dry for the afternoon hours. So temperatures today will top out in the upper 70s right along the Lake Erie shoreline. Solar goodness! You just want to reach up into the sky and kiss the sun if you could, because it's going to be a gorgeous day. As we go inland, temperatures just a little bit cooler here, but still, this is very nice and seasonable, not too far off from where we should be this time of the year. I'm giving it an A+, 2 thumbs up as an afternoon. Your future next 7 days are on the screen. 59 degrees Saturday with that cold front. Woo! Boy, that's below average. 62 Sunday, mainly dry. Here comes October, but boy, it's not going to feel like it. Temperatures spike back into the 70s, and there's that rain chance next Tuesday with another frontal system. We'll finally get back to about where we should be next Thursday. Norm will have sports right after the break. The Doubletree by Hilton is looking for employees in the Jamestown area. Join them at a number of job fairs this September. From servers, bartenders, cooks, and housekeepers, the hotel has many positions to fill. Applicants must bring a resume and cover letter. Arrive prepared to interview.
Hey, this is Ryan Hedrick reporting from the Jamestown Bowling Company, where the bowling is off the hook, the food is even better, and the camaraderie watching sports is oh so great.
The food is fantastic and the drinks are cold.
Mark was bowling almost a perfect game. Mark, do you come here a lot?
Every day.
Wow, Mark comes here every day. No excuse for you not to get to Jamestown Bowling Company on Foote Avenue. Jamestown Bowling Company. Eat, drink, bowl, and be merry.
The Frewsburg Pharmacy is the small-town pharmacy with big-time service. Located at 26 West Main Street, Greg Nelson treats his customers like family, so you know you are in good hands when you walk through the door. The Frewsburg Pharmacy has everything you need and more, including a gift shop for the seasons. Stop down to the Frewsburg Pharmacy today and let the staff show you why the Frewsburg Pharmacy is the pharmacy that cares about you.
Brought to you by the people giving hope at Gifts Decor and More. With the controversial kratom, Gifts Decor and More is giving hope to Southern Chautauqua County residents, one visit at a time.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Happy Friday, sports fans! Welcome back to News Now at Noon. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at some sports headlines. The Jamestown Red Raiders football team will be on the road tonight to face off against the undefeated West Seneca West Indians. Jamestown is coming off of a 26-14 win last Friday against Niagara Wheatfield. With a win tonight, the Red Raiders would improve to 3-2. After last Sunday's emphatic win against the Vikings, the Bills look to even their record this Sunday against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. The Packers are coming off a loss to the Washington Redskins last week. The game will start at 1 o'clock on CBS. The New York Yankees head into the final weekend of the regular season, having already clinched home field advantage for a one-game wildcard showdown against the Oakland A's. The Yanks will close out the regular season in Boston for a 3-game series against longtime rival Boston Red Sox. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm. Thank you very, very much. He's doing such a good job.
Yes, he is. Thank you, Norm. And speaking of which, before we go, we got just a second. Jamestown Police wants to remind everybody out there that starting Monday's the 1st, right?
Yes.
Monday, October 1st until about April, I think, alternate parking. So
Big deal.
Every other day by 10 a.m. you got to switch. So on Monday, you park on the odd side as it's the 1st. Tuesday the 2nd, it's an even day. You park on the even side of the street. 10 a.m. or you get a ticket.
And we'll have details on WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great Monday.